Did you know that there are recurring mathematical symbols and sequences found everywhere around us? In man-made buildings like the Pantheon, and even in the UN headquarters, they're found in nature, in shells, and galactic swirls, and they're even found in you. This phenomenon is called sacred geometry, and it is mysterious and transformational to anyone who knows how to unearth its secrets. These extremely potent mathematical symbols were created thousands of years ago and put on the planet for us to learn from. Tapping into these symbols and sequences not only balances your energy field, but can also help your mind access complex information in order to reinvent your reality. When you look at the images and everything around you, you don't merely just see with your eyes, you are actually perceiving it with your mind. So it is actually your mind that perceives images and objects around you in a unique way. Contrary to common belief, your consciousness, much like your subconsciousness, is not a thing. It's actually a process. Additionally, your brain does not record what it sees, it literally constructs it. You see, the world around us, as we touched on with Nada Brahma, is a conglomeration of electromagnetic signals, frequencies, and vibrations, and our brains help us make sense of it by constructing them into something coherent. Even though we are capable of logic, our brain does not operate by the principles of logic. It operates by selection and pattern recognition. It's a dynamic network or web. This network literally picks up and puts together all of the different aspects by the images that are taken in by our retina and processed by our brain. In a very important sense, as Gerald Edelman, a Nobel Prize winner in medicine, put it, every perception is an act of creation. There are countless potential ensembles of neural circuits in your brain that can get linked up in different ways. However, you have to have the right criterion in order to get them to link up and create what you want. That's why the Sri Yantra is so important to meditate on, because what you'll start realizing is that your mind starts calculating things in different ways. It literally reprograms your brain to think differently. You go from thoughts to realizations. You don't think anymore. You have those bursts of energy where you just realize the entire concept in a very short amount of time, which makes you much smarter because you're looking at the whole thing instead of just a piece of it. The Sri Yantra and all its angles and all the different pieces that are in it and all the different triangles and all the different figures that are there was specifically created to allow you to do this. Some of the criteria that your mind uses to construct and create layers within a series of numbers is also called the Fibonacci numbers. In the 12th century, Leonardo Fibonacci discovered this simple numerical sequence, which is connected to and more accurately converges on phi. What I mean by converges is that the Fibonacci numbers are the foundational mathematical sequence that leads up to the existence of phi. Phi is also known as the golden mean or the golden ratio. Here's a simple explanation. Starting with 0 and 1, each new number in the sequence is simply the sum of the two before. So we have 0, 1. The next number will be 1. Then 1 plus 1 equals 2. Then the next number is 3, then 5, then 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. The ratio of each successive pair of numbers in the sequence approximates the number phi. 1.618039. That's pretty cool, right? The really mind-blowing part of this sequence is that it occurs in nature, in shells, in the tails of seahorses, in flowers, in food, and even you, in the proportions of your body, down to the very construction of your brain. As I briefly touched upon before, a Greek sculptor and mathematician studied phi and applied it to the design of the sculptures for the Parthenon. The Egyptians have used this sequence and phi in the design of the Great Pyramids. Plato considered the golden section to be the most binding of all mathematical relationships and the key to the physics of the cosmos. Leonardo da Vinci found the mathematical relationship to be so special that he called it the divine proportion. This instance arose when da Vinci provided illustrations for a dissertation published by Luca Pacioli in 1509 entitled De Divina Proportione, directly referring to the Fibonacci numbers. Even the Renaissance artists extensively used the Fibonacci sequence in their paintings and sculptures to achieve balance and beauty. Leonardo da Vinci, again, he used it to define all the fundamental proportions in his painting, The Last Supper, from the dimensions of the table that Christ and his disciples sat at, down to the proportions of the walls and the windows in the background. You see, the number phi and everything is also what the Sri Yantra is made of. Describing this proportion as golden and divine really seems fitting, because the sequence and the ratio helps to open our minds to a deeper understanding of beauty and even the universe at large.